Thank you for, yes. Welcome to the House Parks Radio program, Mega Worldwide, the Shart of the Deal. That's right. That's the hold on, I'll create this. Hold on. Welcome to the House Parks Radio program, Mega Worldwide. Today's episode, the Shart of the Deal. Thanks for coming. It's going to be quite a ride today. There are, I guess we'll have to have a running list of what actually got shut down with the government as of whatever. And, you know, the odd part is, let's see, I think there was an actual appropriations bump set. Let's see, that's 2013. Yeah, the irony that one of the things that's affected the quickest is immigration and naturalization service stuff, and it's not just like border stuff. It's what's up, yo? The like funding for border stuff is one of the first. They're understaffed and underfunded to begin with to some degree. More understaffed. They got lots of money. They just don't have enough people, but they'll probably burn through those funds fairly quickly, just keeping people that they do have on the line. Let's see. It's so funny. So much of the government is now shielded from a shutdown. Trump is finally going to stop chemtrails. Here's the problem, Carl. Would you say something like that? And welcome. Thanks for checking in from the Women's March in Orange County. The one that's in LA is literally blocks away from where I was. Al, you never replied to me. Sorry. Okay.
I'm sorry. It's 25 seconds, and we do have one early caller, Matt from Chicago.
Oh, do we know what he's calling about?
Yeah, the government shutdown.
All right.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Things are going to start happening to me now.
Live exclusively for WCPT AM and FM in Chicago and streaming worldwide at chicagosprogressivetalk.com. Standing up and speaking out, here's Hal Sparks.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up.
Welcome to the show, everybody. The government is shut down, but the Women's March is wide open. They are headed down your roads and across your bridges all the way across this country. Carl from our chat room is down in Orange County at the Women's March there. The Women's March in Los Angeles is mere blocks away from where I am reporting from. Couldn't get any closer to it because literally I was like, I'll get into a coffee shop and maybe set up in there, and I'll be able to stream from there. They had broomed lines back to anybody who wasn't kind of involved, to come in, and it wasn't looking like I was going to get to be able to set up gear is the whole point. So I'm simply doing this from Hotel California, but pretty darn close. So Johnny Million is with us today. Johnny, are you there?
Yeah.
What's happening? So have you been affected by the government shutdown? Is life proceeding to pace? Are you okay? Were the street lights on?
I'm doing okay. To be honest, the news that has really captured my world is Vinnie Vincent appearing at the Atlanta Kiss Expo.
I saw that, and I thought it was a lady.
Yeah,
it was very strange. I thought a literal,
yeah.
And I don't mean.
And you know what it is mostly? It's because of the suit that he wore.
Yeah.
His top, his shirt is very similar to what women wear when they wear a suit.
Yeah, it looked like a pantsuit. He was wearing a pantsuit, and I think lipstick, which is totally cool if that's what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
The problem is I don't know that that's what he was doing. You know what I mean? Like,
there's
there's
a
got to
lot
be
of speculation, and I don't think it was ever addressed. And I'm still screening a lot of the interviews that happened. Hopefully there'll be updates throughout the show today.
Yeah,
and I'll let you know what we found. But you do what the government, whatever thing.
I
I'm
completely
chasing
understand your
today.
panic.
Thank you.
Well, it's absolutely right. The I saw the exact same thing you're talking about, and I had a like. What? That being said, he looks vaguely like Mitch McConnell in drag, so that's my way of bringing it back to what's going
and
on.
His wig looks great.
It does. Looks fantastic. This is true. So let's talk specifically though about the fact that I think Donald.
Did he save Kiss?
Simmer down. All right, listen. So
All right, I'm done.
and no, but sort of yes with revenge. Right. So
right, he did it twice.
That's right.
Okay.
I agree. All right. So and the Backstreet Boys, but never mind. So the idea around the shutdown is that there was this whole week of the roller coaster ride of. Remember that the government shutdown was the kind of the last. It was the in I guess in script writing forms what John Truby, the screenwriting teacher, would call the gate, the gauntlet, and the visit to death, which is the point in the movie where everything goes to hell. And we find out if the hero is capable of righting what's wrong in the problems they've either confronted or created. And this started with, though, the inciting incident in the script, which would be Donald Trump having his meeting where he agreed with Dianne Feinstein across the table at this meeting, sight unseen. Yeah, let's do what she said. And Kevin McCarthy jumped in and went, no, we're Republicans. We're not doing what she said. Are you out of your mind? And he's like, no, I think she and you're both saying the same thing. When they were literally saying the polar opposite in the circumstance. And understand that this was a meeting that was supposed to show...
That was so embarrassing.
Oh, it was embarrassing for me, and I don't even like the guy. And...
Exactly. How embarrassing must it have been that I cringed on his behalf?
Yes.
And most of my attention to him is hoping that people just see that he's a fraud.
Yes.
And it was too stark.
Yes. It was one of those.
Liking.
It was that we're at Cracker Barrel and Grandpa has ordered 3 times. Who's going to tell him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that moment where your grandparents are so old, they keep ordering the food every time the waiter comes back, even though they've already told them. And you're like,
I said I want the bacon extra crispy.
Yeah, no, I mean just straight up. I'll have, I think I'll have like every time they come to the table. Would you guys like a check? I'm gonna have the eggs Benedict. Like, oh boy, we're losing him. It was it was an oh grandpa moment, and to some degree, and this was supposed to show that he was. Mentally fit, man. He was stable genius. Stable genius was going to show up at the meeting, man, and show us the art of the deal. This is it. He's going to... It's time for a little Trump magic. That's what's going to happen. He's going to come out, and he's going to go, look, if I have a superpower, it's getting people together and getting the best deal for the American people. I mean, if there is any other real sales pitch at the root of Donald Trump's, becoming president, that was it. Right? The idea that I know how to make deals. We got stupid people running things. They don't know how to make a deal. I make a deal I get people together. And if you can't get people together, that's the president's fault, right? So this is Donald Trump, the deal maker, who everybody's questioning after Michael Wolff's book, the fact that he is completely losing it under that he was already drifting into some level of dementia. In his life, and people using his speech patterns and all kinds of stuff to kind of, I guess armchair psychoanalyze the guy. That was kind of gaining steam. And then Michael Wolff's book, because he speaks a lot of gibberish, and Michael Wolff's book comes out and goes, no, everybody around him thinks he's nuts too. The last line of defense in this was that okay, we might think he's nuts because we don't like him, right? This is just liberal projection. We think he's crazy, but we think he's crazy like the right thought Obama was a Muslim, and it's just something we're going too far down that road, and everybody tapped the brakes. And then you find out from Michael Wolff's book and the fact that people won't walk back the quotes that he said they said in this book.
Michael Wolff's book is like the dossier at this point, where everybody's like, it's a bunch of nothing, but everything's like slowly being
but everything in it is bearing out. Absolutely. And so
it's like, you got a date wrong, you misspelled that. It's like, well,
did it happen? But
There wasn't on Sunday.
There were 3 other Russians there.
Right. Yeah, you got the wrong Russian.
He didn't even know how many Russians were in the room. He said there were 5. There were 8. This guy's a liar.
Come on, get your facts straight, pal.
Yeah, right. Come on. Putin himself was in the room. You didn't know. Oh, damn. Anyways, I did it. I walked into a rake again.
I did that, didn't I?
Right. The issue that so this book comes out, and by the way, last night Michael Wolff was on Bill Maher and said that not only has the president had affairs in the past, like the Stormy Daniels story that came out, but he's having one now.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah,
I saw that this morning.
Yeah, and he was like, it's in the last few chapters of the book, so I'm rereading those again, going, which paragraph is he talking about? Because it literally could be anyone. My fear is that it's Stephen Miller, because the most loving parts of that seem to be between the two of them.
But, I mean, look, if you didn't know what Stephen Miller stood for, the kinds of things he said, but you look at the soft features on that face,
you'd go, that guy lives in a hollowed-out volcano. and is working on a death ray. That's what when I see Stephen Miller.
He hollowed it out with his own Wolverine-like claws.
right. That's right. that come out of his chin or something odd. Like he's angry because his superpowers aren't cool. You know what I mean? Like, I have claw-like appendages, but they had to come out of my ears. Being a mutant sucks, and I'm mad at the world. And so, and by the way, Stephen Miller is currently president because Donald Trump's immigration flip out and his inability to, anchor his concepts of policy or his desires.
Miller was the last one to get to him.
That's right. Are completely the fact that Bannon is gone and Miller is the only right-winger, that has, first dibs on the president's skull right now. And the only way to stop that is to remind Trump and everyone around him that Stephen Miller is president, because that's what drove the wedge between him and Bannon to begin with, and that's what ultimately will keep them apart, is the fact that Bannon and Trump both think that they're in charge. And reminding them of that fact is true. Stephen Miller believes the exact same thing. Let's take a break. When we'll come back, we've got, the government is shut down, but the phone lines are open, 773-763-9278. We got a caller on the line before the show even started, and we have a lot to talk about, so we might dive in and grab that one right away, and then we'll get back at it. But I do want to say that kudos and support to the women who are out at the march. And if you're not in the chat room or you're not around today to watch the show, I completely understand. Give us a report at some point. If you are watching a little bit of it, let us know. Carl, if you feel like calling in.